Oh hey, welcome back to the channel. I can say that now because this is my second video. I hope everyone enjoyed the first video. If they haven't seen it, feel free to watch it. It's about goals, goal setting, but today we're talking about something different. So over the Christmas break, we went back home, back up to Tauranga, see the family and everything, and there was an LAB concert happening at the same time that we were back. I like some of the LAB songs. LAB came on, and they started with one of their bangers, but oh my gosh, it was horrifically loud. Just so unbearably loud. So we were standing like at the back of like the mosh pit. Well, it wasn't a mosh pit, it was in Tauranga. It was just people standing up. But we were like standing at the back of where people were standing. So nowhere near the front, but it was just so loud that I just could not enjoy it at all. And you know how I know it was too loud? Because my watch told me. There's little alerts that you get all the time when you're in the wind and your watch is like, oh, it's too loud, be careful. No, this time it actually was too loud. And then we ended up standing for the rest of the concert at the very back, and it was still just too loud. So I should probably do something about this, because I actually want to enjoy the next concert I go to, which is actually the Foo Fighters concert, which is tomorrow on Saturday. Oh, hey girl, hey. So it's quite wet outside at the moment. We just went for a run. It was lovely. We were getting smashed in the face by pellets of rain. It was very windy. But it was good. Went for about like 4 Ks or something. If you have a look outside. Yep, that'll be rain. Very wet. Yes, very wet. What great weather to have a concert in. How good. I don't even know where we're sitting or if we're standing. Hopefully it's maybe under the shelter, but maybe we'll bring a rain jacket. I think it's meant to get better, but who knows? Who knows? So I hope this rain gets better, because Noise-induced meant to be flying in at like midday today or something. And it's quite windy, quite rainy, and I know Air New Zealand loves to cancel flights, especially into Wellington. So we might be picking her up today, and we might not. Who knows? How loud was it? I mean, it was probably the same loudness as a regular like rock concert. Like between like 95 to like 110 decibels. So listening to music at that loudness, apparently you're only meant to be in there for like between an hour to 20 minutes to like, if it gets like a bit louder, like around 110, you're getting down to only a couple of minutes before hearing damage can actually start happening. Which is crazy, right? Because the concert was longer than that. So I'm pretty sure hearing damage is occurring. So yeah, I could definitely feel myself losing my hearing even standing in the very back. But then there were people who were pushing forward to go be at the front of the mosh pit. That's not really a mosh pit, but to be at the front near the speakers. And it seems like they're enjoying it, maybe? I don't know. They're pushing up there. They want to be at the front. Do people actually like loud music? Well, there was a study that came up with this acronym called CALM with 2 A's. Not as cool as my acronym I made in the first video, so go and watch that if you want to be slay. But this CALM acronym talks about why people might actually like listening to loud music. So there's 3 things that kind of happen. So the first one, you'd think it was C, but it's not. It's a stupid acronym. The first one is the A. So the first A is adaptation. So this means that people adapt over a bit of time to the loud sounds. So obviously at first it's a bit of a shock, like, oh, it's loud. But then your auditory senses will just like adapt and be like, oh yeah, this is a little bit more tolerable now. So now we're going to go to the C, not the ocean, the C that stands for conditioning. That's the next step. So you associate like the posy vibes of the place, of the concert, nice venue, there's people doing things, having a good time. So you associate all these good positive things with the loud music. So this conditions people to enjoy the loud music. Now we're moving on to the final A, which is A for acculturation. I think that's how you say it. Culture. Like culture. And this pretty much means that over time, there's this expectation that loud music is like an integral part of entertainment. So therefore, these venues feel like they're expected to play the loud music to be like part of the culture. And the culture is listening to loud music, and it's like a vicious cycle, right? So this gets to the point where people actually enjoy this loud music, or so they think. They're conditioned and influenced by society to enjoy loud music, possibly. So much so that it can even become an addiction, which is crazy. Some paper said that, yeah, you can be addicted to loud music. Wow, that is crazy. So what I'm hearing is get it, like sound and music? Yep. So what I'm hearing from this is it's like a society thing. So like an individual's preferences will be influenced by what they perceive that like the group of concert goers would want. So they want to be part of this group that's like cool and listens to music and stuff. So therefore their preferences will be to like loud music as well. So more to this point, it's shown that people believe that other people prefer louder music than them. A study where they went and asked people who attended like rock concerts or something, they asked them afterwards individually, how'd you like the loudness of the music? And about 3/4 of them said that they would prefer the music to be quieter. So clearly people don't actually want music to be as loud as it is in rock concerts. I don't know what society's doing, but I can tell it's definitely not influencing me to like loud music, because I definitely do not, and I will say that I don't, and it's very loud and not nice, and my ears go ouchies. So yes, I'm gonna go do something about that. So, BRB, bye. Oh hey girl, hey, I'm back, and look what I've got, some high fidelity earplugs. Ooh-wee. It's very exciting. These bad boys were like $34.90, and we brought 2 of them. That's like almost $70. That's a lot of money. But you know, we really care about our hearing, right? And we actually want to enjoy the concert that we're going to. Let's crack open these bad boys. I'll put the mic down so I can actually open them. It's a bit tricky. I don't have a mic stand. That's why I hold the mic, not just because that's like what the meta is these days on YouTube. Okay, welcome back. we got them open. What comes in the box here? Oh, we got this manual here. How to put it in your ear, I'm guessing. You pinch the top of your ear to put it in. We got the actual earplugs themselves. Blue, very Slade. We got this little box that it comes with. What's in here? Oh, some rope, maybe to tie them together behind your head. Hold on, let's see. Is this gonna work? Oh yeah, that would look so cool. Put these bad boys on, tie the rope around your neck, you'll never lose them. Overall, very good. What an unboxing experience. Hope you enjoyed. How do I look? Am I stunning? I hope so. Can I hear you? No, because I'm talking to a camera. So when I was looking on the packet at the store, it said there's a 12 decibel reduction. And I was kind of thinking to myself, 12? Just 12? It doesn't sound like a lot. Like I was spending $70. So I was like, I'm only getting 12 decibels of reduction. Concerts are like over 100, 110 or something. What's 12 reduction going to do? Not much. I was wrong. 12 decibels is a lot. And this is because I didn't know what a decibel was. So to explain what a decibel is, first we can talk about sound. Now what is sound? Probably just like some wiggly air, pretty much. So the SI unit for sound is just pascals, because you're just measuring the pressure of sound. However, humans are crazy, right? They can hear from 20 micropascal, which is like the threshold of human hearing, all the way up to like 20 Pascal. That's like a million factor difference. So that's a lot. That's probably a little bit too large to be able to just like talk about on the day to day. Like, oh yeah, I went to that concert. Oh, it was 865,000 Pascal. Oh my gosh. So you can put this bad boy into an equation. You can take the pressure, the absolute pressure of the sound, and you can divide it by the minimum sound that we can hear, like that 20 micropascal usually. So you get a ratio, and then you can take the log of that and then times it by like 20 or something. I don't know, some math things. And then you get decibels. Wow! So decibels is a logarithmic scale. Ooh, crazy. Who knew? Maybe everyone knew. I don't know. I didn't know that. Very cool, but apparently this is not good enough. Oh, jeepers, we need to do more with it. Oh, it never ends, does it? No, it does not. So sound, right? There's different frequencies. There's like low sounds. And like higher pitched sounds. What am I doing? And the human ear does not hear all these different frequencies the same. So we're less sensitive to low frequency sounds, then we're more sensitive in the middle, and then at the real higher frequencies it'll start to tail off again. So it's like, meow, just like that. So if you take this curve, it's called an A curve. There's different ones. B curve, C curve, D? I don't know. There's different curves. So if you slap this curve onto your sound pressure level, it like accounts for the differences in the human like hearing, and therefore it makes the SPL, your decibels, more accurate of what the human actually would hear, not just like a flat frequency, because we don't hear all frequencies the same. You'd see written like SPL and then A for A curve. Wow, we did it. We're finally there. And that's what people talk about when they're measuring sound in decibels. Wow. Why is it difficult? I don't know. Okay, cool. So now we know what a decibel is. Seems confusing, right? But no, okay, it gets more confusing because what actually affects your hearing? It's something different. That's sound intensity, not the sound pressure level. So the sound intensity is the square root of the sound pressure level. So if you do some math, you'll find out that the reduction of 12 dB is actually reducing the sound intensity to like less than 1/10 of its level before. So the damage to your ears are only like 1/10 of it was before. Wow, that's massive. My hearing feels so safe right now. I'm so excited. But if the damage to my hearing is only 1/10 of what it was before wearing these earplugs, then what is it going to sound like? Is it going to sound like 10 times quieter? No. This is because there's another thing called perceived loudness. And this is different because, you know, people's ears are different. We don't hear all the frequencies the same. Just different vibes, you know. I don't know. It's just the loudness that you actually perceive. So, okay, let's do a little comparison of what means what. So to double the perceived loudness, you need to increase the dB by 10. That's SPL. So increase it by 10 dB and then you perceive it as to be twice as loud. But to double the sound intensity, like what's actually damaging your ears, you only need to increase the decibels by 3. Okay, so the point that I was trying to get across with all this pointless and probably incorrect math is that I can save my hearing by like a factor of 10, like really save my hearing, but not really affect how loud that the concert actually seems to me. So like I'm still vibing, but my hearing is actually saved. And you only need to take a couple of decibels away for that. Hey, we're driving to the airport. It's very exciting. The flight was only delayed by like 10 minutes. Wow, what a surprise. I saw this article on the Foo Fighters concert in Christchurch like a couple of days ago, and there was this man standing up just completely naked in the crowd. So I mean, maybe ear protection's not the thing you need to worry about most when going to a concert. Maybe you need eye protection or something. I'm sorry to the earplugs for like roasting you guys earlier. Like, they're actually doing a really good job. Honestly, they seem great, right? So surely everyone wears them. Oh, but wait a minute. No one wears these. There's a study that shows that only like 3% of people that attend concerts will always wear earplugs. Seems a bit silly, doesn't it? But surely like the musicians are wearing them though, right? Well, no, apparently not. So not even Dave Grohl does, and he's been, you know, playing in a band for like probably a long time, right? He was in Nirvana playing drums there. Now he's been in Foo Fighters for like forever. He says he never wears earplugs. And guess what? He's pretty much deaf. What a surprise. In an interview, he said that he's got tinnitus in both ears and like also noise-induced hearing loss. So sucks for Dave. Okay, tinnitus. What is that? It's pretty much a perception of sound that doesn't exist. Ooh, sounds spooky. But it's usually just a ringing in your ears that you pretty much hear all of the time, and it doesn't go away. It doesn't have to be ringing, apparently. It could be other sounds, like roaring. So for us to understand how noise-induced hearing loss actually happens, we probably need to understand how sound gets turned into sound in our brains. It goes through the ear. But how does it do it? Okay, let's break it down. I'm not an expert in this, but this is what I found. So the sound waves, they're out there. They're floating around. They're doing their thing. So there's like 3 parts to an ear. There's the outer ear, so that's what it gets to first. Comes along, goes through that. Then there's the middle ear. Maybe that's where the like eardrum is, or it does just chills go through there, and then it gets to the inner ear. That's where the cochlea. that's where the cochlea is. That's the thing that looks like a snail. There's like fluid, and there's also hairs, little hairs in the cochlea. Okay, so when the sound comes and finally reaches there, it like vibrates, and vibrates the fluid in there. Hairs have got these little things called stereocilia. Yep, those are on the hairs, and so when it vibrates, those things bend, and when they bend, they open up like ion channels for chemicals to come through, and then when the chemicals come on, do their thing, then that causes like an electrical current, and then this electrical current gets transported from in there through some nerves or something into your brain, and then your brain turns that into like what we perceive as sound. Wow, a little bit more complicated than I would have thought, but quite cool. So what is noise-induced hearing loss then? It's pretty much when the sound just comes into your ear and it comes up to these hairs and it just kind of just bends them a little bit too much, or kind of like that was it breaking. Yeah, so it breaks these hairs, and guess what? You can't regrow these hairs. Once they're broken or like bent too far, they're gone. So all those times, Dave Grohl's been banging away on his drums or playing like guitar and it's like loud. He's just been just bending those hairs, just breaking them. And now he's pretty much deaf. So it sucks for him. He probably should have worn ear protection. Like what I've got here. Oh, how exciting. It's going to make it a lot more enjoyable and crazy. I'm not gonna damage my hearing. Oh wow, that was such a cool concert. That was incredible. I loved it. Very, very cool. And now I've got this song stuck in my head, especially at the moment, Rescued. What a banger. How good. What a great song. So a little review of the earplugs. They were great. I loved them. Very good I had them. So I put them in pretty much at the start, and I managed to get a good fit like straight away, which was good. You kind of put them in. I lifted the ear like I was meant to, like I said on the manual, so that worked out well. And it's crazy that when I like turn them a little bit to like sort of adjust them and they come out a bit while I'm like fiddling with it, it's so much louder without them in. Like, it's insane. So glad I had them. So they were like a little bit sore to begin with. Like my right one was probably fine. My left one was a little bit more sore, but like it was the first time wearing them. I probably kind of expected them to be a little sore. I noticed the difference between wearing them and not wearing them. The earplugs kind of cut out a little bit more of the high-end frequencies and the low-end frequencies. But this might be because of something else that I'll get to in a hot second. It's just the craziest thing, like walking back home after the concert, and your ears not ringing and not being like deaf. It's such a weird experience. I'm like, did I even go to a concert? Because my ears felt perfectly fine, like nothing had happened at all. So Just incredible. It's a real whole new world, so definitely recommend. Okay, so the weird thing I was talking about. So we were sitting up in the seated area, like quite high up on the stands. We were on like the right side, and we noticed that it was ever since the first song, it sounded like the speakers had maybe a connectivity issue, because it was going from sounding like normal, fine, good, and then all of a sudden like we lose all of like the high end, and it sort of sounded trash. At first I was thinking, is this because I'm wearing the earplugs? But no, because Lani and her mum both were noticing it as well, and I noticed it even taking them out for a little bit. So yeah, it was quite strange, and it sounded like there was plenty of bass the whole time, like the subs were connected, but like the main speakers weren't. But then I realized maybe this is due to something else, and the speakers were actually connected. Because they didn't stop. Because I was thinking like, surely the sound people have got to like stop this, right? So what it might have been is that because it was quite a windy day, so the wind was coming from the north, which is like coming from the stage to us, so in the same direction as the sound. And obviously we're in a stadium, so there's going to be a difference. At the bottom of the stadium, there's going to be less wind, and then further up, there's going to be more wind, right? So there's like a gradient of wind, two different sort of wind speeds. And because sound is traveling like in the air, then possibly when the sound waves come from the speakers and they're coming up to our ears from like a low wind area, and they're going up to our seats up on the stands, they have to reach this like different medium, which is just wind at a higher speed. So this potentially might do the things that waves do when they're traveling through two different mediums, right? So like it's going to speed up the waves that are in the new medium, speed them up, and the ones that are in the no wind, slower medium sort of thing is going to like slow down comparatively, and then this might like bend the sound down and away from us. So potentially the sound was being bent by the wind, and this would sort of make sense why we found at some points it sounded fine, and then at other points it sounded like not fine, because there were like gusts of wind. And even more so, we noticed that it was only the high frequencies that were being affected, and the high frequencies have a shorter wavelength, so therefore they're more likely to be affected than the lower frequencies because of like physicsy things that maybe I'll show some equation or something on the screen. So wow, maybe the wind was affecting the sound, and not that they forgot to connect the speakers, which would make a little bit more sense. But yeah, quite interesting. So overall, still a great concert. Good vibes, you know. The Foo Fighters, they slayed, and I was very glad that my ears were protected. So I'm thriving now, and I'm not deaf. How good.